All right, well, good morning, everybody. It's great to see, well, sort of see everyone through the platform here. I'm Robert Snelson here in the music department. I'm not going to talk much because I know you're here to see Boston Brass and what they have to say for us. Just a couple of quick announcements and just reminders of what else we have going today. We're not gathered together at TMI, but we still need our dignity and decorum. So if you haven't done much Zoom calls, remember, keep yourself muted when you're not talking. That will help keep a lot of distractions away. When they do open up to questions or that kind of thing, be ready to talk, be ready to ask your questions. So start thinking now, but unmute then and just unmute and just mute again as soon as you're finished. After this session today, don't forget we have Bill Himes at 1 o'clock, Ronnie Murchison session at 3, and tonight you can sort of meet your DMVs and ask your questions about what they might have in the state of music in our territory at 7. So just be ready for those. If you missed any of our sessions yesterday, they're posted again on YouTube, and they're also on our Attendify from yesterday. If you just jump over to yesterday's schedule, we've updated the recordings from those if you want to go back and catch Phil Smith or Steve Cobb or anything else we missed yesterday. But at that point, after this, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jeff and Boston Brass, and we're looking forward to hearing what you have for us, guys.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. It is a pleasure to be here. It's an honor for Boston Brass to be part of the 2020 TMI Summer Camp. Right off the bat, we would like to give special thanks to Nick Simmons-Smith and the entire Salvation Army team for their continued support of music education and of Boston Brass. And we're sorry we couldn't be with everybody today. I know in the past we've had some great times in Texas, and hopefully we'll all be together soon. So our clinic today is called Rewired. And back in 2012, we had the privilege, Sam Palafian joined Boston Brass. And hopefully everybody out there listening knows Sam. And if you don't, you want to look him up. Sam was one of the founding members of the Empire Brass and left a legacy that is just unmatched in the brass world. So when Sam joined Boston Brass back in 2012, Sam brought new energy and vision to the band, and he showed us new ways to build and create a real signature sound. So our clinic, Rewired, came out of that vision. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was that we are big believers that to become a complete musician, there are 3 components that you need to become a successful performer, a complete musician. 3 parts or 3-part diet, if you will. The first is your individual playing. That includes your practicing, your lessons, your juries, recitals if you're in college. So it's all about learning the fundamentals of your instrument. Then there is large playing, and that includes playing in large ensembles, orchestra, wind ensemble, singing in choir, in marching band. And that's where you learn to become part of a community. You become part of a community. You learn to be part of a section. You learn to take direction from a conductor or from a section leader. And you also have the opportunity to learn to become a leader. And then there's small playing or chamber music, which is what we in Boston Brass are really passionate about. And this is where students learn to create and express their own musical opinions. They work without a conductor, sometimes maybe a coach. There's one on a part. They have musical independence. They learn to give and take constructive criticism, which is something that's really difficult for a young person, somebody who's 57 years old. I mean, no matter what age, learn to take and also to give constructive criticism. Working together as a team. Learning how to rehearse with no conductor.
Hey, you're 57?
I'm 57, yes.
Oh my God, you're old.
What?
Yeah.
57?
Yeah. Yes. You learn how to rehearse with no conductor, and you're able to learn about collaboration and communication with fellow musicians. So hopefully this is something that you all are doing, playing small. If it's something that you haven't had that experience, it's something you want to do. And it doesn't mean that you have to I have to have a traditional brass quintet. No, it's playing duets, playing trios, unlike instruments. If you have, woodwinds, percussion, brass, whatever it is, it's just one and a part, and it's creating something special, just a small group. So these are the three components of playing that create a full performing experience, something we believe in. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to introduce just the members of Boston Brass to you, so you know what instrument they play and who we are. On lead trumpet, we have Jose Sabaja. On the French horn, we have Chris Castellanos. Hey. On trombone, we have Domingo Paluca. And on the tuba, we have William Russell.
Hey, everybody.
And also on trumpet, my name is Jeff Connor. So kind of the whole concept of this rewired session that we're going to do today is a lot of rehearsal techniques that we use. And everything that we're going to be talking about, all the guys are going to be talking about, all these techniques are scalable. And what that means is no matter what age you are, or what kind of ensemble you play in, all these techniques will make your ensembles better for no money at all. It's just basically the investment of fundamentals, the investment of basics. And these are good for all instruments. Everything that we talk about is good for brass, woodwinds, and even percussion that we do. So it's all about investing in the fundamentals. And the payoff really is extraordinary when you use these to, as part of your ensemble and your individual playing. So what I'd like to do is turn it over to William and talk to you a little bit about something that I'm sure is familiar to many of you, the breathing gym. William?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, and we're just going to get into some basics, like some early morning type warm-up things here. I'm sure many of you have heard of the breathing gym before, the sort of breathing method and process developed by Sam Palafian and Pat Sheridan. So we're just going to get into some of the real basics of it. I'll give you the kind of express version, and once our players come up and play a bit for us, we may get into a bit more of it. But one of the important principles of the breathing gym is that we need to be stretched and warmed up early in the morning. And I think this qualifies as early for people on the West Coast, so let's say that. And let's just do a little bit of kind of relaxing and just getting relaxed, because we've all been hunched in front of our computers like this for a while now, and it would be nice to stretch out a bit. So just start with some backward shoulder rolls. Change direction if you like. Great. Do some wider arm arcs if you have the space, or any variation on that you're able to do in your space. Great. Let's do actually Nick's doing it right now, what I call the baseball stretch. Arm across the front. Deep breaths, and on every inhale, you stretch more, and on every exhale, you stretch even deeper. Okay, so in. Shake that arm out. Let's do the other side. It's nice to be evened out. And it should be pulling across so that we feel a little bit of that stretch in the upper back here, right behind the shoulder blade as well. In. Out. Just one more big breath. Great, great, great. Now you can do any manner of stretches that you choose. One thing that I make sure we don't overlook is just like our hands and our fingers. Just take your thumb and rub into the palm of your hand. Cramping and such can really creep up on us with all the action we do with our hands. So even out to the fingertips And again, for good balance, do the other hand as well. Great. So that's just an express warm-up there, kind of loosen up some areas that we don't always pay attention to when we pick up our instruments. And that could be as extensive as you like on your own time. But of course, the breathing gym is more about breathing. So let's talk smooth air, smooth air. So we're just going to do a really simple exercise here. We're just going to do 6 beats in and 6 beats out of air. And if you like to follow along in whatever way you want to visualize it, I do a wide arm arc like this, full, empty, full, etc., like that. But you can do, like accordion in front of you if that's easier with the space that you have. So I'm just going to count us in. We're going to inhale for 6 and exhale for 6, and we'll see what happens, and we'll talk about that. 4 and 5 and 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'll take a big sigh. I don't know if there's anything in the morning that feels better than a big sigh like that. All right, so there's a few things we should have been thinking about, and kind of let you just go at it for a bit, and just so we can see what's different once we work on this a bit. So we're going for really smooth breath right at our lips. There's a little bit of suction involved. If you were to put your hand in front of your lips, you might get a suction type sound as opposed to a throat kind of gasping sound, right? So if you want to try that for me real quick, just a quick finger in front of the lip. Make sure there's suction and no gasping, right? Excellent. The other idea is that we're going to be always moving air, right? That breathing is one motion and there's never a stop to it, okay? So that means when we're inhaling on beat 1 and beat 6, we're going to be breathing the same amount of air still. And when we get to that turnaround, 6 and out, right? There's no point at which we're clamp down and hold our air. So it's air is either moving in or out. So let's just do a few more of those with those things in mind. Breathing at the lips, always moving air. So let's start where we finished there, right at the count of 8. Okay, so we'll do 8 in and 8 out and do a few more of those. Here we go. 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and out and 2. And 8 and 2 and 3. 8 and out. Again, 2, 3. Big sigh, big sigh. Yeah, shake your arms out. Get really relaxed. Make those fingers really loose. Do that, make your hands kind of dead and just flap them around like a bird's wings. I love that feeling, just like relaxed and loose. Great. So at this point, maybe this is coming easily to some people. Maybe this is difficult. Maintaining a really smooth breath. That's going to be really key for our control of our instruments. I kind of just wanted to end there because that idea of smoothness and steadiness is so important. Do you guys have anything to add to that we should be thinking about? Or
I think it's important for For those of you who are not familiar with the breathing gym or who are not familiar with what we're doing, to understand that we're going to be in our instruments, first of all, we're going to be as good as our ears are. That's the number one concept that we need to address at all times, working on our ear training. And then number two, we're going to be as good as our air, as the way we understand and we use our air. That's why these exercises are so important, because it creates an awareness and it creates a mastery of using the air that is so relevant to play an instrument, a wind instrument, in a positive, in a easy way, in a productive way, and to the best of our capabilities. So it's important.
Jeff, I think you're trying to say something.
Sorry about that. Thanks, William. If Rodney or Sarah, if you'd like to play, we can listen and then maybe we can talk about some wind patterns and groove and that. So who would like to be first, Rodney or Sarah?
I see a hand.
I'll go first.
Sarah's going to go first. All right. Yeah, so Sarah, if you want to introduce yourself and then let us know what piece you're going to play, and if you want to play just a section, whatever.
Sarah, do me a favor, please.
Yeah.
Go to preferences on Zoom. Go to Zoom US and then go to preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Go to audio.
Mm-hmm.
Go where it says automatically adjust microphone volume. Unclick that.
Click it?
Make sure that's unclicked.
Okay.
And then go to advanced. And where it says suppress persistent background noise, disable. Suppress intermittent background noise, disable.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my name is Sara Daniels. I'm from Orlando, but right now not right now, but I live in Gainesville right now for school. I go to the University of Florida. I'm studying music in combination with general business. And today I'll be playing the euphonium solo in Christ Alone by Richard Phillips. So do you want to see it? Do you care?
Can you share it? If you can share it, it'd be great. If not, it's fine. Whatever you want.
Share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's disabled. I think.
Then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be playing the middle portion. The theme is in the beginning, but the middle portion is a little more, lyrical, kind of deviates from the original theme. So I'll be starting there. Sorry about that.
So, do me a favor, Sarah.
Yes.
Put your horn down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what I want you to do is I want you to bring tension to your upper body. I want you to go like this and tension to the face and everything. Check this out. You're gonna do this. And then you're gonna explode.
Okay. Just
Do it again, louder, loud explosion. Let it go. Okay, now go like this. Shake it all.
Mm-hmm.
and then try to recreate that feel, and then start again, or go from whatever you want to start. But try to recreate that feel of loose shoulders, loose everything.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna start a little bit earlier.
Sure. Great. Okay. Okay. Lovely. So do me a favor. For
Yes.
this is where you started is perfect. So
Okay.
do me a favor. Can you sing what you just played?
Just the melody, or
Sure.
like
What? Yeah. Whatever you just played.
da 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 la 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 da 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 da.
Okay. Awesome. 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 So now, what I want you to think is that you're not singing for us. What I want you to think is that you're just singing. Now
Mhm.
you're very concerned about pitch. You're very concerned about how you sound.
Mhm.
You're very concerned about all of these things. Just sing. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
If it comes great, it comes great. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay.
Just sing one more time.
Da 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 da.
Okay, awesome. Play. Just like that. Okay, okay, okay. So why was that so much better?
Because I was hearing it, or
That's right. And you were not caring about anything else.
yeah.
You were not, it's like, okay, whatever, fine. And then it's important to understand that what we do,
Mhm.
and this is a mental aspect. That's what I wanted to talk to you about this.
Mhm.
What we do is just fun.
Mhm.
Just for fun. What we do, it doesn't matter if we make a mistake or not. Nothing's gonna happen. We're not operating on somebody, you know. If
Mhm.
you make a mistake there, it really counts. Here it doesn't. Here
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. So, uh, um, it's important for you to hear that inside voice
Yeah.
that you have, follow it through, and then a lot of things are gonna get lined up. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? If you start hearing voices in your head and talking to yourself,
Mhm.
a lot of things are gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
If you start listening to the good voice in your head, which is the singing voice, and you keep singing, a lot of things are gonna go your way.
Mhm.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Try it one more time wherever you started, and then we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Okay. Can you play that? The first that you just played, the one
The
that goes
second part.
high. Yeah.
Okay.
Can and do this? Do this. Check this out. I want you to click in your head, to be thinking about time. To,
Mhm.
da, 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 dee, da, 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 da. Okay? And
Okay.
at that speed, play it at that speed.
At that speed?
Yeah, the speed that I just did. But I want you to be subdividing in your head. I'm moving, listening to that line too. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Can you do that at that speed? And can you do da 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 and that note da 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 da
That
da
whole
da
line?
da da just on one note. Yeah, but your air is affecting everything. So you started with this great sound, and then you started to decrease your air.
Okay.
And it's actually the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're playing affairs, when you're playing your instrument, you have to take in consideration that your air is always running out.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? There gotta be a direction of air that is always happening, and it's always happening. And the more you run out of air, the more direction you gotta give to your air.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, you never want to get to the point that you're in your last breath, that you're like, doing
Yeah.
that. We want to avoid that at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, try it one more time on one note. Okay, all right. Then you went great for a little bit, and then it came down again.
Mm-hmm.
The air. So you have to be aware of that.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? It's important for you to make a note. And every time you're practicing long tones, you're practicing flow studies, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
For you to understand that there has to be a direction of air that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like to shape our notes out. Yeah, we like to do all of that. You know, but we do that when we play music. When we practice, we want to keep it as steady as possible so it becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
try it one more time now with playing the melody that is written, but always thinking about moving air forward. All right? I don't want to go into a wind pattern yet with you because I want you to understand this first. Go ahead.
Okay.
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better. Then you have this thing that in your head.
Yeah.
The high notes and the low notes are one are here and the other ones are here.
Yeah.
It's all the same. They're right here, one next to the other.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at a piece of paper and you look at how far notes are, the high note from the low notes in a staff paper, they're about this close. That's right. So we psyched ourselves out
Mm-hmm.
thinking about distances in notes in music. And
Yeah.
we make them bigger than they really need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know you're playing on a much bigger mouthpiece than a trumpet mouthpiece, but if you mentally start thinking in those terms, that music is just music and it's not vertical.
Yeah.
Music is horizontal. Music always goes somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just it's just like if you're doing this, you're never doing this.
Yeah.
So it's this, and it's just staying within there with your aperture and your chops. So that will actually really help. But this last time that you played it, it was way better,
Mm-hmm.
way better. So important for you to start thinking in terms of singing. Number one, of air direction. Number two, in my opinion, and number three, start messing with longer jumps when you practice.
Yeah.
Trying to bring them closer together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the guys have. You sound awesome. So I'm sure the guys have something to say.
I think what we need to, if we can, Sarah, that was awesome, beautiful playing.
Thank you.
I think we're going to move on and have Rodney, if you'd like to play, spend a few moments with Rodney.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for
Thank you.
playing. Yeah.
Sounded great,
Thanks,
Sarah. Sounded great,
Great
Sarah.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah, helpful reminder to everybody, when you're playing, don't feel rushed at all. You know, don't feel rushed to play. You can take your time, totally.
One more thing, as Jose was saying, this is for everybody. It's really important to sing before we actually play the piece. Why? That will give us the idea of how you want to play it. Instead of just looking at the notes and looking, you know, as the intervals, just look at how you will sing it. Jose was saying, just emphasize where the line goes, the phrasing. So instead of, like in your case, just plain and simple. What if you go? So you start in one place and you go somewhere. That's what Jose means about it, having, you know, the music is moving forward. It's always going somewhere instead of just being static. And when you do the gaps, the intervals, same thing. Body instead of body going up. You're not going up. You're going forward. Yeah. So every time you guys have a gap, so you just think of it as one step forward. So just blow air. Don't think about just giving the tongue, using the tongue to get the note. It's just using the air. Just rely on the air and just sing it. Da-dee, and never go da-dee-da-do-da-da, because it doesn't say anything. Always try to say something. Always try to give a message, whatever that is. It's your message. So always sing, okay?
Yeah, I agree with Domingo 100% with that. This past weekend, I was at a masterclass with John Brussier, who's the assistant principal clarinet with the Chicago Symphony. And he had a t-shirt on, and I could only see, you know, part of him, but the part that I could see was of a silhouette of a person playing the tuba. And I said, John, what, let me see the whole t-shirt. And he stood up, and it was Arnold Jacobs, the famous tuba player from the Chicago Symphony. And it said, be a storyteller of sound. Wow. That's what he preached. Just be a storyteller of sound. So, yeah. So that was bravo, Sarah. Thank you so much for sharing. Rodney, let's.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand back here if you guys can see me or hear me. Can you guys hear me pretty well?
Yeah.
Is that good? All right. So I'll be playing.
Hey man, you did the whole thing with changing what we changed with Sarah, right?
The settings.
The settings.
Yeah, I have a mic.
Great. Still, go to your app. App. Go to preferences.
If I can find preference.
It's up on the left by where it says Zoom US.
Preferences. So is it like on audio settings?
What kind of computer are you on?
I'm on a Mac.
Yeah, are you on the app or are you on the?
I'm on the browser.
The browser. Yeah, but iOS settings, no, that's in and out settings. I don't know how to do it in the browser, man. I've never gotten on in the browser.
Yeah, sometimes there's a thing that just says use original settings or use whatever, and you can just click it.
Yeah, but the problem is if you don't have them set up, it's gonna start doing the gets louder and softer, and then it's okay. Let's just do that, man, because we don't have much time. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'll be playing. It's a sonatine by Castered for trombone. I played this for my junior recital. I'm just gonna play like some of the first movement. That's okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Sorry. Page 4.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Ronnie. Keep playing. Just a little bit more. Good, man. Good. You sound great, man. Let's stop here.
Great job, man.
You sound really good. Really good. Now, the first comment that I would say, it's you're playing the notes, but they're static. That means everything sounds the same. I think you're holding back the air just so you're thinking about notes, pop, 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 instead of pam, 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 like as we were saying, we're telling Sarah. You have to think about a phrase, and your air needs to be going forward. So when you play forte, mezzo forte, your air is there. When you play piano, you're just backing off on your air. So you're having two sounds. You should have one sound, and it's like just moving the notch, so just louder and softer, but your sound needs to be big. And when it's piano, a little bit softer, but always on the big side. So let's take it from the top. Could you sing it? Could you please sing it?
Yeah. All right.
As if you were gonna play it.
All right. Bum 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 dum 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 bum 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 bum.
Okay. See, now you have direction. Could you play now? Same thing, just as you sang it. Okay, Ronnie, sounds much better. Could you play it just a little bit on the longer side and just keep the air going instead of doing pop, 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 pom, pom, pom? Just think more like a symphony player. Pom, 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 pim, pom, so it has resonance. Every note rings out instead of just like being so dry. Do it one more time. Much better. Now, sing the first phrase. You're starting in one point, and let me know that you're arriving to the destination of the first phrase.
All right.
That's it. Much better. Now you're delivering the message. So now we get that you're starting in one place, you're going to the destination, you're taking a breath, and the phrase, in fact, you lift it up in a way that we're just waiting for the second phrase. That was perfect. Anybody else?
Domingo, can you have him do a wind pattern?
Yeah.
Have him play that opening phrase in wind.
Do the same thing, Rodney, but put your palm in front of your head and just play towards the palm and just play the same thing. So everything needs to,
Make sure that you're wasting your air.
Exactly.
This is not about playing the music. This is about you moving air. So it's like marathon training. You want to go the extra mile to bring it back later. So make sure you're wasting your air when you do this exercise, please.
So big breath and just empty out. Big breath and empty out. Use it all. You can waste it.
And breathe it. I'm sorry. And breathe whatever you need to breathe. Don't respect phrases. They just whenever you're running out of air, breathe. Okay. Are you dizzy?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So
Well, that's
breathe
a
through
good
your nose.
sign.
Breathe through your nose.
So one thing I was talking about before that I really just touched on with the breathing gym stuff was this idea of breathing from your lips as opposed to breathing from your throat. And you can tell if you breathe from your throat, as you got a few throat breaths there that we could hear, kind of gasp breaths. But everyone do this for yourself. Take a gasp breath and then exhale in the exact same way from your throat. Right? There's no power there. There's no airflow. So that means every time you breathe like that, you're not getting any air in. It's the same thing in reverse, right? That's why it's so important that we create this suction point at the lips. It creates this venturi, so we have this difference of high and low pressures so that the air rushes in and you actually get full. So that's why it's so important to focus on breath at the lips as opposed to, I know gasping feels very open and it's very natural instinct, but it actually doesn't really move much air at all.
And sometimes if you're breathing through the throat, you may cough. So that's why keep it open.
He's telling you that because he's a specialist of coughing and lying when people are talking. That's his specialty. So, amen. So do it one more time. And I want you to even try to take more air in and try to be more physical about it.
Yeah. Don't worry about the phrases.
All right.
Cool.
Now play.
Take a little break, breathe through your nose, and then play.
Yeah, you see, immediately it was already bigger.
How did that feel?
Was bigger, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I wasn't trying as much to play as loud.
And now you were not thinking about the notes. You were just thinking about the air. And everything came out right on. See, you're not just picking up the notes. Pa, 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 pa. You were pa, 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 pa. So when you did the last scale, every note came out perfectly. Because you're not thinking about the notes. You're thinking about just blowing the air, just having the air there. And that you have to keep doing that before you even play. Just do that. Just play in one note, as we did with Sarah, and then just do it with wind pattern. Just use as much air as you can. The more air you use, the more relaxed you're gonna be.
Hey, Domingo, can you have? Oh, sorry, Jose.
Hold on, Jeff. So it's very important, man. Now you got all the fundamentals down to play this. Now you gotta make music with it. There has to be strong points because this is a dance. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a French dance, so it has to be very light, very, very. And I know it says fortissimo or forte. I don't know what it says there. But it's important to take that into consideration because especially this movement is a lot like that. Because, you're doing something and then the counterpoint is doing something completely against you. So there has to be this definition of intent, definition of rhythm, definition of dancing, definition of moving around the phrase that will dictate how everything else reacts towards you. Got it? So try to play it one more time. And this is very important because this is how you're gonna graph the rest of the movement musically. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
try to play it one more time. Make sure you're listening and paying attention to the strong points of everything and how it moves and dances musically.
Rodney, one thing, that forte that says there is a relative forte. You play your forte. It doesn't mean you have to just blast it out. So always play with a beautiful sound.
Okay.
And you have a beautiful sound, man. It's great to hear you play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So good. Okay, so the whole first part of this was fantastic, and then you started getting into you start to get into your own head by the end of it, because the more tricky stuff was coming, and then you started tensing up, and then that's when everything got complicated. But the beginning was great, and as you start thinking on these terms, and you keep thinking on these terms, music is gonna get a lot easier. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you're blowing, and you're using your air beautifully. Now, the fundamental part of what we're talking about is starting to really get there. So now it's a part. It's a matter of making it musical, and then you're starting to do that as well. I just recorded this with Jeremy Wilson on a brand new CD. I'm gonna leave the link here to the site so you can go check it out. So it was piano, trombone, and trumpet. But I left the link here for the whole album. It says I sent it to Michael Gilliam. So whoever Michael Gilliam.
We'll make sure he gets that. No problem.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, Domingo, I wonder if we can go through just a couple other things with Rodney, just to show everybody in terms of some more rehearsal techniques. You talk about just creating resistance on the trombone, and just like do those first opening, couple measures.
Hey man, why don't you do it? Just do it yourself, Jeff. Why you have to? Domingo has to do it.
Rodney, actually, let's try something. Then you'll do it, Jeff. But let's play the first phrase on the lower note that you can play. So just using air. So you're just gonna use one note.
Yeah.
So it's ba 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 ba, and breathe whenever you need to breathe. Okay.
Right. So on my lowest note.
Yeah. Well, the one that it has to be if you E flat. Can you play with an E flat, like a low E flat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There. Let's just use E flat. So we have all the tubes in on the valve and the air going. I don't care about sound. I don't care about like the beautiful. I just need the air. Just play forte and just using as much air as you can. We're just talking about resistance here. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Rodney, play louder. Play louder and breathe whenever you need to breathe, and just keep the tempo. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Now play it. Now just play it as is.
Play it as written. Yeah.
All right.
Bravo. Sounds 1,000 times better than the beginning. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
Tell me what you felt. Tell me what you felt and what you heard.
Yeah, so right after I did those low notes, I felt like I had more air to like let out when I played the rest of the phrase. So
Okay,
yeah,
how did it feel when you were playing the piece as written? Were you more relaxed?
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was kind of more relaxed. Yeah,
And
Hey,
you had more air.
yeah.
Yeah, go
Hey,
Jose.
do me a favor, man. Play that ta ta tira ta ta tira ta ta tam pam. That last part of the phrase that you played ta ta tira ta ta tira ta ta tam pam. Play that, but I want you to do this. I want you to play it all slurred. Ta ra ri ra 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 ri ra ra tang.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Ah,
At this speed, ta. At this speed, ta. Ta.
Rodney, make sure that even though you're moving the slide, every note comes out. Okay, you're just playing air, but make sure that every note comes out.
all right.
Again. Again. Now play faster. Faster. Now do it articulated the way it's written. Yes, exactly. Now, when you played it before, you were letting the air do whatever it wants to do. Now your air is moving forward. You understand what I'm saying? And it's easy.
Yeah.
So every time you have something notey, every time you have something with a lot of technique behind it, it's important for you to conceive it as if it's this. You understand what I'm saying? It's all slur. It's all it's all part of the same thing. It's like if you had like a I don't know, like a huge roll of cake, but in a roll like that, all together, and you're just splicing it up a little bit. That's what, not ta 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 ta. You understand what I'm saying? So the cake is the air, and the splicing it up is it's just touching the note with the tongue. It's not actually cutting the air. So every time you play something like that, that'll make it more even. That'll make it more musical, and it'll sound way, way better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you play with that concept? Can you play, I don't know, beep beep taratin tan taratin tan taratam tam pam paratin tan takatira tatatira tam, whatever that is. Is it perfect? Better? One more time. And
Better.
then what I want you to do this time, is before you start playing, I want you to subdivide. Chan 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 pam pam taratim pam paratim pam paratira tatatira tatatam. So what I'm saying, every time you get ready to play, there needs to be subdivision in your head, and there needs to be rhythm while you take your breath, and that has to be consequent with what you're doing. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But that's way, way better. You understand what I'm saying? That's way, way better.
Ronnie, one thing. You sound great, but your right arm, it needs to be relaxed. Sometimes it is too tense. When you're moving the slide, your body is moving. That's why sometimes when you play the scales, you're kind of missing the notes. You're too tight. So just be relaxed. Just move the slide. When you do the glissando, I mean, when you do the with no articulation, you just slide. Make sure that you're just holding the trombone, and then your right arm is just loose. So so it doesn't go. You know what I mean? So the faster you move, the looser you need to be. So make sure that the right arm is always loose. So then when you move the slide, it's just slight movement, just to make sure, and the wrist needs to be also loosened, okay? Don't get it tense. Otherwise, Every time you move, your body's gonna move, and then the embouchure suffers because you're gonna start shaking all over. Okay.
Rodney, so you've been doing awesome, and thank you for playing and showing all these techniques. We've talked about wind patterns, talked about creating resistance. Now we're going to really put you on the spot. We're going to get really full body into it, and I'm going to do it first, and then I'm going to have you do it. So we're going to do cha, and it's a complete body experience. And hopefully you don't have any neighbors or nobody's home. I'm hoping that nobody's home here. I'm going to probably scare my dog.
I'm in an office.
But so really, so what it is, you're going to sing the rhythm, right? And it's going to be a full body experience. It's not going to be, you're going to say cha. It's not going to be cha, 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 cha. It's going to be cha, 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 cha. I'm not going to do that one here. I'll cha, 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 cha.
Okay.
Jeff, you need to sing the whole phrase.
Okay, so
Jeff,
can you please? Yes.
you need to sing the whole phrase so he
He gets the idea. He gets the idea.
All right. I gotta do it without laughing. It's gonna be.
That's a challenge, man.
All right. Okay. 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 Cha 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 cha.
No, you're too tight. No.
Yeah, you're at about a 3. We need you to get up to like 9 or 10.
You're too polite right now.
You're too nice.
Polite. You're like, ha ha ha. No. You gotta let it go.
Caveman. You gotta be a caveman.
Yeah.
Okay. Cha 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 cha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now get up, pick up the trombone and play. Yeah.
I hope they don't yell at me.
It's okay. Blame it on that. You can blame it on us. All right.
All right. Sorry.
Hey, man. Hey. Okay, listen. Check this out. Don't apologize. You didn't do anything wrong. It's all right. Just play.
All right.
It's okay to make mistakes, man. It's all good. Mistakes are funny.
All right.
All right.
How does that feel?
It's okay.
So, I feel like I had the energy. I felt like I had energy. But like when I got to like the fast notes, I was just like, oh man, I started like to tense up again. But I feel like I know what you're saying with like letting it out with the air and just not worrying about.
Check this out. Check this out. You did cha, right?
Yeah.
But then you played, and then you went right back into the square. You went into this box mentally. It was so evident that you asked for forgiveness. It's okay, man. The reason cha happened, the reason that we wanted to do cha is for you to be as extroverted as possible. Does that make sense? For you to get rid of all your inhibitions and just let it all out. If you're a musician, that's important. Because otherwise, if you play introvertedly or if you're mentally restrained on what you're doing, your message is going to be affected. Got it? And you have this beautiful message that you can convey to us. But because you are concerned about all the things that are coming out of your bell at the point of performance, then that gets affected. So practicing, it's the way that we assure that when we are on stage, music has meaning and music is fluent and music can be as free as possible. That's why we do fundamentals. So we go to the point that we don't have to worry about anything that is between our voice and the audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you do plenty of fundamentals because I can hear it in your playing. Got it? So trust those fundamentals when you're playing and let it be. Let it be. You sound great, man. You sound great. How
Yeah.
old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rodney, thank you so much. It was awesome. Thank you for helping us demonstrate. Yeah, that was awesome. So some of the rehearsal techniques we covered. William talked a little bit about breathing, Jim, just the importance of singing. We talked about wind patterns, creating resistance on your horn, the cha, and you can do this with any kind of band, whether it's your individual playing. You can do it with a middle school band, a high school band. Yeah, doing the cha, of course, is going to be funny at first. It's always funny, but it's all about the result and what it does, and it makes it more fun, but again, it's just kind of creating that culture you want to create doing these rehearsal techniques. And again, they're all scalable. So I know we're kind of running out of time here. Just wondering if anybody has any questions at all, and then we can wrap things up. Again, Rodney, thank you, and Sara, thank you so much for sharing your music with us.
Thank you.
Great job, Rodney. Great job, man.
Yeah, man. Nice shirt too.
Right, who's got questions out there? Come on, you people, wake up. Anybody? Anthony Barrington. So unmute yourself, Anthony, and ask your question.
All right. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, cool. So I do a little bit of the breathing gym. I'm a big fan of it. I like doing it regularly. But sometimes I find it hard to sort of gauge what I need to do or how much I need to do of it, sort of breathing as a day-to-day basis. I'm just individually, what do y'all do to sort of gauge what you want to do breathing wise and like what exercises you want to do that day or if you're going to do them or not? I just have a hard time sometimes gauging whether or not I do too much or do too little. Question mark. So I leave it to y'all to answer.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use the breathing gym in a couple different ways. Some people just use it to some of the little so-called therapies and monitors just to check on if things are going well. Like, am I breathing correctly? Am I actually outputting air? Some of the things that are really important, I think, one is the stretching aspect. It should be done every day, whether that's related to your breathing or not. Checking your airflow, making sure that you're breathing constantly and getting to a comfortable full and empty level. And those are some other exercises that we didn't touch on. It's being comfortably full, especially for tuba players. That's really important because we're using so much of our lung capacity to play our phrases. So some of the exercises that involve getting super full and super empty, I'll do every day in some form or another. It doesn't have to be a lot of them. It's just kind of that reminder of the feeling. And then finally, in your practicing, using your air for musical applications. That is some of the things we showed, the wind patterning, making sure your air is actually giving the musical message that your brain is sending out as well. So I think as long as you're hitting some of those highlights, you can do as much or as little of that as you feel is necessary. But I think those areas are the main ones that you should be hitting.
Thank you.
I have a question for the group, and I know it's Nick, and you know me somewhat, but you say you're Boston Brass, but you don't all sound like you're from Boston. What's the deal? Tell us where you're all from.
I do. I live in Massachusetts. I'm in central Massachusetts. So I'm about 45 minutes west of Boston. And that's where the group started.
Yeah.
And now it's, when we were, 4 months ago, we were on the road, we're a road band. So we're on the road almost 200 days a year, and everybody can live where they want. All the rehearsing, everything is done on the road. So let the other guys talk about where they're from.
Chicago.
Well, yeah, I live in Miami.
I live in Nashville, but I'm from Costa Rica, and I lived
Yeah.
in Miami for a long, long time, and I miss
Yeah,
it.
and I'm from Venezuela. Yes.
Venezuela.
And Chris lives in that van that you saw him in.
Down by the river.
Domingo, we had a conversation in my office whether you were from Colombia, is what we were
Oh,
getting.
no.
But
No, I'm from Caracas, Venezuela. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're from Venezuela. Beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. I always think that people with an accent sound really intelligent, but that may be just me.
That may not be the case, but thank you.
Okay.
Hey man, you have an accent.
Do I? Any other questions from anybody?
It's like Stefan has a question.
Great.
So the question is like, so between years since the Boston Brass has been formed, like how many changes have been updated for your group and the organization?
Changes as in personnel? How many personnel changes?
Personnel.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, I've been in the group for 34 years. Jose has the second longest tenure. He's been in for
15 years.
15 years.
Going
on 200. Chris has been in for, I think, 9 years. Domingo, 7 years. And William is our newest member. He's the baby of the group. He just started playing tuba a couple weeks ago. That's how young he is. Yeah, no, William's been with us for three seasons, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
But this one doesn't count. Yeah, there has been. He never answers a question, man. So yeah, there has been changes, a lot of changes through through this thing. You know, people start doing different things. People get a family. People, don't get along. It's just like it's like everything. It's like every family in life, in real life. I think it's very important to understand that if you go into any musical endeavor, it's important to, number one, check your ego at the door, and number two, be a nice person always. And then when there is certain, when there is a certain time has passed, and you guys are comfortable talking to each other, be always honest, politely but honest. Important. That keeps things clear, and it keeps things from getting messy in every situation in life. If you feel something, make sure you say it.
I think it's important.
It's healthy for you, and it's healthy for the group.
I think it's important to understand that being a musician, just the music world, it's a very relationship-driven world. It's very small. Everybody is 1 degree of separation, maybe 2, but usually 1 degree of separation from one another. So, I mean, that's how small it is.
Nice question, man.
Yeah.
And then
Thank
you
you.
got nice buds, man. Your buds are like blinking. I like that. It's your buds.
Yeah.
There you go.
My dad's here.
All right.
Great. Well, thank you all so much. Is there do one more question, or just like?
Can we get Rodney to go caveman one more time?
Yeah.
You see, here's the thing.
Hey Matt, how about you do it?
Yeah.
Come on, Matt. Come on.
Here's the thing. Rodney was worried about making other people in his building uncomfortable, but wouldn't the trombone playing have done that at first anyway?
Yeah.
It's like, we got to get our priorities in order here.
Well, thank you all. Nick, thank you so much for having us. Thank you, everybody who came and joined us today.
Matt was going to do it.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see it, Matt. Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're muted, man. Come on.
What do? I just shout really loud?
Pick a song.
Cha-cha-cha.
Go, Cha. You got to get up and do the whole thing.
Yeah. Cha, happy birthday.
To a melody.
Cha 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 cha. All right, that's all I can do. I'm getting fired right now.
Yeah, it's all right. That's like a cha-cha falsetto, but that's all right. We'll
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Special thanks to Rodney and Sara. Again, thank you for letting us work with you and listen to you. Thank you to everybody who participated and joined us today. Nick, thank you so much for your continued support of music education of Boston Brass. We've had a great relationship with the Salvation Army over the years, and it's something that's really special to us. It was great to see Bernie there. Oh wait, Jose is giving the timeout.
Oh man, but there was somebody that came online, and there were these kids doing something.
David Delaney and David Murziowski have something to say by the looks of it. This could go south in a hurry. Okay, here we go.
Hey, what's up, Boston Brass?
Hey kids.
We're over here in Alexandria, Virginia. We're just taking a break from our band rehearsal to tune in with you guys.
All right.
And we got something for you. We got something for you. Ready? Here we go. We can beat Rodney right here. We go. Ready? And
That's my division right there.
Robert, you better wrap this up.
That is awesome. That's
how you do it. That's right.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you all so much. We appreciate it. Nick, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm looking for Robert Nelson.
I'm here.
Right.
Thank you. I'll have the camera on this time when I talk. Sorry about that. Thanks again, Boston Brass. We really appreciate it. It's been great to hear from you guys again. You never disappoint. Usually it's with your playing, but this time it was with your excellent advice and just great words of encouragement and how to get out of our heads and into music. And hopefully we can all take that home with us. A couple of reminders for the rest of our guys. The rest of the day, we still have more sessions coming. We have Bill Himes at 1, talking about worship planning. I have a gospel choir session at 3 with Ronnie Murchison, and our forum tonight with the DMDs to have a chat is at 7. So make sure you tune in for those. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. And if you want to come back and relive Rodney's cha-cha, you can always do that. We're going to post this session again. By the end of the day, we'll have everything back as a recording instead of as a Zoom call, so you can go back and watch it again. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, and God bless.